Hello traders, it's E from marketwizards.com and eminywizard.com, and it's about 10 minutes of 2 lunchtime still for a lot of traders on the 4th of March 2019. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. Well, we've had quite the barn burner today, and a couple of questions have come up, so I want to just answer those for our traders. Let's take a look at a couple ideas. First question basically was, what do you mean frame support 64? So I'm not going to give away all of our trade secrets, obviously, but let's take a look at some common sense ideas. First of all, you want to take a look at something like a bigger chart. This is a 30-minute RTH chart coming into the rain line for the first time. And you'll see this 63.5 idea theoretical support. This 85, 86 area back here, resistance for now. And if you come back and look at a couple of ideas, you'll see this support zone that we had previously, where we'd called 62, 63 support. And that is held and got us all the way back up there to that 20 zone, and then this big sell-off. So it's still a range type idea with that in mind, and the bias really should start to shift to the short side, trying to pop long for profit taking. That's certainly against a very big swing. I'm not expecting a huge pop, but I think paid by 80 and then good fortune above that 80 to 82. That's the way I'm thinking right now. And that 82 would be a retest, basically this 83 breakdown. So paying attention here for that idea. So based on this chart, these supports back here, that's an important idea for now. We're going to look at a couple other charts. And here's our intraday chart. And this would be the retest of that prior low last Friday. And that was a breakdown, so there's a retest. Whack-a-mole may have started already. If we get up above this 83 and hit that 87 area, 88, then I would think probably low is in for the day. And sometimes beginning of the month, we get this sharp sell-off and then that's for one more buy. And I'm assuming that's what's going on today right now. It's a pretty big sell-off. But a lot of times they'll just knock everybody's teeth out and then they'll rebuy it at a much deeper level. And in my opinion, that's what they're doing right now. So I think the low may be in already. And we've got one more short attempt maybe before the day's over. Anybody long should be paid, obviously, by that 82 retest, 83. Good fortune above. Now, here's a look at weekly charts. And this clearly shows that support back here at 64 that we've talked about. And you can't have a plunge without getting some kind of a profit-taking recoil. And that's what's going on, I believe, right now towards the end of lunch. So that's one big reason why 64 support for now. Into the bottom zone, you had over a 50-point sell-off. Somebody wants profits after a 50-point sell, don't you think? So that's the primary reason for better odds buying. And setting up green, yellow, red zone. Support now, fighting box gone. And this is our resistance box that the market's trying to get through. And this would also be a retest of that low that held on Friday. So our advice has been make sure you paid by the 82s for sure to 85, and consider anything above this the really good fortune up in here to retest that high and start to get back into that range. And you can also see the middle. So any high, once we plunge, we can go back any high, but usually it's going to be some profit taking if you get a nice swing, and 3 boxes is a good move. So if you get a 20-point swing here, why not cover something? All right, and here's our predictive chart. So we've gone not quite stem to stern, right? I mean, the markers are back here at 12.5, and the marker down here really is a 73.5. And deep support down here, deep resistance above that. We'd had that 18 to 22 resistance zone. I'd assume that would hold today for backing and filling a bit. Could get one more buy that, terminated and came back. But I certainly didn't expect this type of a plunge. And you can't count on that. All you can do is protect yourself once it starts to come back. So the question that was asked in the room was, you got back in sync with the market, and what did you see? What made you feel that way? So let's talk about that for a sec. This zone, I said, I doubt that we'd close the gap, but we could. And I said, but I certainly don't think we're going to break the 02. So 02 was my violation idea, that this should be supportive. And if it's not, if that 02 was not support, if that was not respected, and my thought was that we could then come down and retest, obviously, that late low, this 98, 99 area that jacked everything up. If that broke, then you're looking here at these white bars, and there's really no support built up. This was a fast move. We're like I said when we were back here at 87. That's a 24-hour, market right back where we were. That's fast down. So once 02 breaks, it opens the door step by step. First of all, to this 98, and then to the 93, and Mike was all over this. Mike said, this is not going to be good news if we get back that far, because now we know a big boy is in the trade coming this way, saying, I'm defending that territory. Doesn't have to go this far, but you're looking step by step. So your next target is, okay, 92 breaks, so we open up the door. Remember I said we open up the door to retest 88. If that can't hold, we're going back to test 85s. Okay, we take out the 85, and there's no sign of an angel. There's nothing here. And then we come back, and obviously these 78s become very important from a few days earlier to 75. And pointed out that we had a gap, 74.25 not filled. And I said we could go any place down here, but I'm assuming in the 60s we're going to have some type of a bounce. And make sure that you understand that 68 from the top is about a 50-point trade. So let's use 63, 68 is the bottom of this frame. So let's call that 64. Say 64 support for the buy. Here we are. So the violation part comes, first of all, by getting back under. We said make sure you're paid by 18. Getting back under the 14, which was that prior high, getting under the 12.5 and staying under, then coming back, closing the gap, staying under. So step by step, longs that bought into this were given the ball, and Charlie took it and ran. So this is how I got back in sync, not thinking we are going to get this big sell. And I just said, hey, sidelines, don't damage your account, and then let's see what we can find. But these steps just kept opening the door every time that you broke this neckline. I'll show you that. And I had suggested that this 95 was probably the middle, 95 to 92, probably the middle. All right. So once this breaks, it opens the door downside to other ideas. So is this a trade you can count on for just because it held up here? No. But we did talk about the risk and reward. Still hasn't negated getting above 28 and a quarter. But we said at the time that was risk and reward from this 18 area back to the gap, back to that 08 high, 10 points from 18 to get back to that test or go up and get that 28 and a quarter. So that was the key idea for risk and reward, and soft, and then it opens up, boom. So admittedly a tough day for most traders, but that's how I want to explain this idea of that 64 frame. And I've got clearer charts to show you for those that have the system, but as this is more for the general idea for people even in the room that don't have the system, I'm choosing obviously not to show you that work. Put a lot of time and effort into that, but that clearly shows these type of ideas. So you're getting a look at some of our primary best ideas for predictive charts. And like I said, this 28, 12 and a half, huge pivot. So I think perhaps the low is in for today. And this is the idea of obviously making sure that on anything short side, you're not the last one to jump in. If you didn't jump in sooner than down here at say 80, you're really starting to get into risky territory because that could easily held above 75. So best thing to do, go sideways, wait for a timing type trade, seek posted, best times coming up for the long side bias, and great post. All right, I hope that helps you guys.